What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zoe at 05 Dfs here to bring you that WNBA slate breakdown for the two-game WNBA slate. If you guys are new here, please make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, drop a like on this video if you guys get something from this content. If I helped you guys yesterday with that 20K to first contest, if you got anything from the video, from the breakdown, please make sure you guys drop a like and subscribe. Almost to 1,000 subs, so we're right there, 29 more subs in, and honestly hit a milestone goal for me myself on this channel. And if you guys have been grinding this out with me since last year, the growth of the channel has been great and amazing, and I thank every single last one of you guys for tuning into the video and watching it. So thank you guys so much. Definitely probably gonna have to do some type of giveaway or something like that once we hit the 1K sub mark. But definitely check that out, and make sure you guys hit subscribe. It's free. With that being said, real quick, going over yesterday's slate. For me, myself, I did not cash. Unfortunately, my value plays just didn't hit. I think for me, more so, it was the fact that I was pretty heavy on Brianna Jones, and Brianna Jones just had a dud of a game. It was truly a dud of a game right there. If you guys played in this first game, it was slow. I was looking at it, and it didn't blow out until the second half. Really, that third quarter was when the Connecticut Sun really put their foot down and got it going. And then they kind of made it a game in the fourth quarter, but Washington Mystics, they were in it for the most part. Did pretty good fading Atkins. Leah Edwards was really the only one you needed from that side of the game. And then on the other side, Ty Harris, DeWanna Bonner, both of them, they carried the load with AT just having a flop of a game. If you had AT yesterday, I'm sorry. I am so sorry if you had AT yesterday. That was just floor AT game, and it was just ridiculous. But if you definitely had maybe DeWanna Bonner as a GPP option, even a little bit of Bree Jones, depending on how you shifted out the rest of your lineup, you still did pretty decent in that game. Going over to the New York Liberty and the went back wrong way. New York Liberty and Chicago Sky game. If you went into this game and you play Stewie, like I was very heavy on Stewie. I said it. Stewie's my play of the day. Like Stewie is my play. Then you did pretty good in regards to having it. She was the highest scorer on yesterday's slate, 60 plus fantasy points, which we know Stewie has that. Really lucky because John Quell got in foul trouble. She didn't play her normal allotment of minutes, only 25 minutes with John Quell. And but she was starting to redeem herself in the second half, so not too bad, even if you still stack those two. And then Sabrina Ionescu went out there. She had a really great game. Definitely something I wrote down in my notes, just paying attention to certain guards in the matchup going up against Chicago Sky. It looks like they're more susceptible to some of these guards that actually do a little bit of everything with the playmaking and also scoring. So definitely was something to pay attention to and note right there in that. And then I'm just coming down here on the Chicago Sky side. Cardosa, I don't understand it. She played 18 minutes, close to 20 minutes in the first game, and then only 12 minutes here in this game right here. Really didn't get anything too much going. Elizabeth Williams, definitely if you pivoted to that instead, easy, no foul trouble this time, played pretty good. And she was out there, she was rocking and rolling. Marbury, just a game for her. Dana didn't get anything going. It was just a mixing pot, but was very high on Kennedy Carter, talked about it, loved her for the spot. She came in, she was instant spark plug off the bench. Beautiful 20 something plus 29, close to 30 fantasy points, and honestly was very low on single digit ownership. I was really surprised at how low that was. And then the late night hammer, we got the news that Ezzy was out. It kind of shifted stuff, just put everything to be on Ezzy. You really just, it was no brainer to go ahead and play Ezzy. Surprised she didn't get the double-double, came short. But Ezzy, Skylar Dinger-Smith, both those guys, they pretty rocked it out. I was pretty high on Horson with the news that Neck was going to be out. Kind of figured they might run small, but they didn't. Instead, Jordan Holmes ended up getting quite a bit of run out there, 20 minutes in regards to no NECA being out there for the slate, and Horson just played 14 minutes. This game was just It was This game was As long as you had Vivians, who surprisingly went out there, 10 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, was truly balling. And then Ezzy, you did pretty good from this game if you just took those two pieces. But that's pretty much just a quick recap of yesterday's slate. And moving on to today, we got 2 days till we get 20K or 25K, something like that, to first on Friday slate. So definitely check that out over on DraftKings. If you guys don't have an account, check the link down in the description so you guys get the deposit bonus and join me over here on DraftKings. And we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna break down today's games. Really, I'm excited because I would expect these games to stay close. Right now, single digit spread for both these. Las Vegas Aces in Dallas, it was like a 9-point spread last time I checked it, and then Minnesota and the Sparks, it was sitting at a 7-point spread. So should be some competitive games. Just really got to worry about the Sparks being able to keep this one in hand and close enough in that game. But outside of that, Las Vegas Aces, Tiffany Hayes, possibly could actually play today. Going to get more into that when we actually get over DraftKings. Kirsten Bell, doubt she plays. Chelsea Gray, doubt for play as well. Over here for Dallas, Jaylene Brown, she's still going to be out. Natasha Howard's out. Satu's out. So regular starters for both these sides in regards to it. Minnesota Lynx, Diamond Miller, she's still out from that surgery. And then for the Sparks, Lexi Brown, game time decision. I kind of on the fence that Lexi isn't going to play. It's kind of what I'm leaning towards. Not too sure how that's going to shake out. And then we got Clarendon. I doubt that she plays. She's still dealing with that head injury that she got like 4 games ago. So we still haven't seen anything in regards to what's going on with her in that. And then Azora Stevens, she's just still out for the sake of being out right there. Looking at it real quick, the last game that the Sparks played going up against Phoenix Mercury, real quick just to check some things in here. Hamby Burns for Kia Jackson. Lexi played 12 minutes, and of course, Ari, she got that burn 23 minutes. Be interesting to see what they actually do with that here. All right. Heading over to DraftKings, like I said, if you guys don't got an account, check the link down in the description so you guys can get that deposit bonus and join me over here on DraftKings. So starting out with the first game, Las Vegas Aces. Real quick before I even fully go into the breakdown and just dig into the meat and potatoes, I'll say this. Value has not necessarily panned out over the past several slates. I'm a person, I like to go back and I study the slate. I study the price slate. I study my notes and stuff that I take. Got one of these, camera's not picking up because of course I got a black background, but I got a composition notebook and I look at these things, try to figure out how to get better and whatnot. And the constant thing that I'm finding is that the value, whenever we're looking at value, is not panning out necessarily. And by value, I mean those 4K players, those 3K players. Like no one's gonna pay. We'll go with what is it? How do you say her name? Peely. There we go, Peely. No one's gonna play a Peely on a slate unless it's a blowout, unless you can truly predict a blowout. And Peely popped off one game, and she was, of course, if you had that 3K Peely, you could fit whatever studs and so on and so forth in a slate like that. But the 4K value, the 3K value, it's really not panning out. So I'm really trying to find a way to be balanced today. I went balanced yesterday. I had Kennedy Carter, I had Horston, I had Ezzy, Brianna Stewart, Bree Jones, and Sophie Cunningham was my main lineup that I had yesterday. Sophie had a shit game, really didn't do anything for me in that game, and Horston, of course, just was and Bree Jones was just mid. But if those players actually played how I was projecting for them to play, the 20-ish so fantasy points, things like that, definitely could have had a much better day altogether if that would have went. And that's kind of what I'm leaning more towards, just trying to find not a value, but a more mid-tier build. And I think there's a way to actually get to that today on today's slate. You will have to make some decisions with the studs. There's some different spots that we can get different with some certain things. And but that's just something to keep in mind. Necessarily, whenever you're going in and you're trying to build your lines, don't look necessarily to that low 3K, 4K player unless maybe someone's out. Just like yesterday, Aaliyah Edwards. She's starting. There's no Austin. We know she's going to play at least about 28, 30 minutes. Even if the game was to blow out, she's going to get the burn. She's going to get the run. I spoke about that when I was on Batch's show in regards to that. That right there, that's something. Kennedy Carter, that's why I was so heavy on Carter. I know she's going to play those minutes. They love running her out there. Even with Diamonds and Shields being out there, Carter brings the energy. No one can keep up with her in regards to the pace, the speed that she plays with. And she's an instant offense off the bench. She was a top 4 pick a couple years ago for a reason. So just keep that in mind whenever you're looking through your slates and looking at trying to build something just to keep in mind in regards to that. But going ahead, starting out over here at Las Vegas Aces, we got the top 3 guys over here: Wilson, Young, Plum. Honestly, this game I expect it to be pretty fast paced. Both these teams, they play top 3 in regards to pace of play. The Aces, they're playing at a 100-point pace, and then the Dallas Wings are playing at a 99-point pace. So both these teams I would expect to be very up and down, back and forth, fast. That's how they like to play. They're both decent on the defensive side, but it'll be interesting to see. We do have, I personally think, an advantage at the guard position with Jackie Young, Kelsey Plum, and of course Asia Wilson, MVP, best player in the league currently right now. I'm finding it very hard not to play Asia on today's slate. Very true. I'm finding it very, very hard not to just go ahead and shove Asia into Asia. I'm finding it very hard to not put Wilson into my line. It's very hard not to be able to go ahead and do that. Honestly, I feel like I've been butchering her name again. I do that every year. Aja. I'm pretty sure it's Aja. Yeah. No, it's Asia. I don't know. Anyway, um, still best player in the league right there. 12K, respectable price. If you look at her game logs and what she's been doing, going out here, 53, 64, 56, 47, 47. I think she's safe for at least 45 fantasy points. I don't think that my wings have anyone that can truly defend her. She's going to get the Billings matchup. Billings is not going to be able to stick with what she's doing out there on the offensive side and what she just does. Period. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a game where Billings possibly could get herself into foul trouble, but I'm not predicting that. I actually do like running it back with Billings on the other side because her price is just too cheap to me, in my opinion. But I do like Wilson here on today's slate. And then going over to the guards, Young, Plum, both of these guys, even if Tiffany Hayes plays, I think she would eat more into maybe Martin's minutes off the bench because that's where I would see Hayes. Hayes, there's no way they start Hayes. There's no way you mess up with the cohesion that you have in that starting lineup unless you're bringing back Chelsea Gray, who is the actual starter. With that being said, they like Wilson at the power forward position. Stokes, she rotates in and out in that spot position, so on and so forth. So I don't see this being a spot where we have to worry too much in regards to the minutes for the main two guards. Jackie Young, she's doing everything. She's playing the point guard role. The peripherals are there for her. She got a price dump coming down to 9.8, so 1,000K dump. I don't know why. I do like her. The upside is definitely going to be there for her here at that 9.8. 9.4, you can come in here to good old Plum Dog. She's sitting here 9,400. We're expecting a bigger game from her here, but 13 fantasy points, very respectable. Definitely got it there going in the peripherals. We know she can dish to rock and get a couple of assists. She's averaging right now pretty much on the road right now, averaging 6 assists. So that's pretty good for her. 14 points per game on the road, and this should be a spot where Plum can definitely thrive. We just saw Kelly McBride pop off going up against my Dallas Wings, knocking down a whole bunch of threes and just some crazy shots out there. So I really do like both the guards. Definitely a toss-up for me in regards to it. Right now, I'll say Jackie probably will be a little bit safer just because Plum does rely so heavy on scoring. Jackie brings it on the defensive side, being able to get those blocks of steal upside that she does have, and just the playmaking period, rebounds, and the assists that she has. And it's not going to rely too heavy on her to actually score. Either one of those guys, I do like them. They're both sitting at 19.5 over on Prize Picks and on certain books. If you can if like say you play on FanDuel or something like that, I expect this game to be very high scoring. But if you are looking for something that you want to run over here on the books, I wouldn't mind if you can get Kelsey Plum and Jackie Young at a respectable 14, 15 points. That definitely would be something I'll take over. And then also with Wilson, take her for a good 20 points because that's just pretty much what she's averaging right now on the season. I really don't mind or hate that at all for either of these guys. And then also if you can get the assist, because definitely the assist is one I would actually take as well. If you're able to get the assist for both Plum and for Jackie at 4. Right now, I'm pulling up FanDuel over on my other screen. Right now, they don't have either one of them for the 4 assists, but if you could actually get that wouldn't be bad. For 3s, Jackie Young, that's a maybe that you can actually take. It's sitting at 2 right now. But for the 15 points, they got both Kelsey and Jackie Young at 15 for minus 480. That's definitely something that you can take. Again, you definitely can mess with it. I do believe that one of these two will definitely put up 20 points. It is very doable going up against Dallas Wings, especially for the spot up shooting that both of them have, and then the transition shooting that they both bring to the table is definitely very much possible for either one of those guys to actually put it up. And then, like I said, going ahead and just getting Asia Wilson, which they actually don't have her up here on FanDuel for 20, but I know maybe on DraftKings or on BetMGM you can actually get that. I would take Asia for 20 points. Like that's just a no-brainer, an easy day if you can actually get that line. And then Asia for if you can get her at 10, I don't mind the 10 rebounds. It's definitely doable for her. I know we got to worry about Big T and things like that, but 10 rebounds, not bad. I wouldn't mind or hate that. Right now, putting those 3 things into a line, that gives you a plus 105. So not a bad play right there if you want to actually take that from the books. But come down here, Clark, not really sure. She's 6'7". She's there. She could probably get you about 20 fantasy points. It's not a bad day from her, but with them possibly bringing in Tiffany Hayes into the mix, I just feel like Clark and Martin, those minutes are the ones that would actually suffer, and it would change with Tiffany Hayes getting brought into the fold. Now, I personally feel they don't need Hayes. They really don't. I just feel like they are trying to integrate and just have a security blanket for Chelsea Gray just not being ready and having that lower leg injury. So definitely just something to think about. But my main plays, and legit from this game, from this side, I only have Jackie Young, Plum, and Wilson are the 3 that I am primarily looking at. Martin, I had her at first, was looking at her, but with Tiffany Hayes possible to play, I fell off that just a little bit. Not she's there, but the 5-1 price tag not bad. I'm just a little hesitant right there over there for that. Going over to the other side for my Dallas Wings, Enrique, Big T, Billings, Maddie, Uzan, they're all getting some pretty heavy minutes when you look at it in regards to the minutes that they're playing. Uzan, she's definitely come on over these last couple of games, 30 plus minutes in each one of those games, 32, 17, and 27 fantasy points. And honestly, opposing guards going up against the Las Vegas Aces, they're not doing too bad of a job. A couple of the fantasy points, 16.75, 32.50, 24.75, 39, and 28 fantasy points that they've actually given up to the last couple of opposing guards that have played. She has a pretty decent usage, ticking up to about 19, close to 20 minutes. She can score out there, but also the playmaking and what she's bringing on the defensive side, I definitely see her picking Plump's pocket or something like that, getting a couple of steals as well out there. But she is dishing the rock. She is getting a couple of those rebounds, but she can also score. And if we can actually get one of those double-digit scoring nights, she can definitely get us about the 25-ish fantasy points. I do like her as a mid-tier option, something that we can have. You already know Enrique, she's going to go out there. She's going to do what she has to do. The usage is sky high. It is ridiculous, the usage that she has, and she's playing practically the whole game. They may see her for like 2 seconds, and that'll be because either a timeout's about to come or the end of the quarter type thing for Enrique. But normally she's out there for the whole game. You cannot go wrong playing her at the 10-1 if you want to come off of Jackie Young. If you want to come off of Kelsey Plum, just go ahead and play Enrique. I'm not gonna say it's a bad play. If you're playing cash games, I definitely do feel like she would be a cash game staple just because the usage and the minutes are there for her. Do I think you need her on today's slate? No, not necessarily. She's not someone that I feel like you have to have. That is a must, but someone that you can consider. Now, I will say Big T coming out here to this 8.8 price tag. That's low, considering that she was just up to the 9K. And that's just due to the fact of she's not producing at the 9K price. We're not seeing what she did when she went up against Atlanta, 43.5 fantasy points, and I'm pretty sure that was her coming off the bench in that game. But 29, 24, 21, 27. This is definitely a spot I could see Big T going off. She's going to deal with Stokes' defense. Stokes is going to be out there for her 20 minutes. They might match minutes with Stokes and her, but it depends on if Big T decides she wants to play hard. That's all this is going to depend on. She is still a good fantasy point per minute producer when she is out there on the court. She will still put up some pretty big numbers. She has the block upside, she has the rebounding upside, and she has the point upside. It's just a matter of what Big T are we going to get. I don't mind her as a GPP option, but I will say Mo Billings, what she has done, coming in here, turning back the clock, playing practically almost the same amount of minutes as what we're seeing Enrique go out there and do, and putting up some pretty heavy scoring numbers. I like it. I really do like it. I'm looking at it. Opposing power forwards going up against the Aces. Shockingly, they've been putting up some pretty good numbers. We got 20.5 fantasy points, 40.75 fantasy points, 27.5 fantasy points, 46.75 fantasy points. So a couple of the opposing power forwards, when they've gone up against the Las Vegas Aces, they've actually put up some decent numbers. And those players, we had Fee, where she dropped 40.75 fantasy points. Hamby dropped 46.75 fantasy points. Fag Binley, before she got injured, 27.50. So high usage power forwards going up against the Aces have actually done pretty well. Indecently in regards to what they can do, rebounding, scoring, all of that. And I'm not gonna say Mo Billings is going to go out here and break the slate, crush the slate, but it's something that you're going to have to take into consideration and consider in regards to what she's actually doing out here. And I actually do like her as a decent player on today's slate. Maddie, as long as she doesn't get ticky-tacky fouls or just get crossed up on defensive stuff like that, she will go out there and play. But 7,500, a little bit too much for me to actually play for Maddie in this spot. Really don't like her here. And then everyone else, Soares, Sheldon, they're not really seeing the minutes. They're really just running. Oh, my Google just crashed. Hold on one second. They're really not running all these other players off the bench for Dallas. They're not really seeing the burn and run. So I don't see a world where I'm trying to get down to the Soares, to Sheldon or anything like that. Kalani Brown, if you think that Tierra McCown gets in foul trouble, but I'm not too happy on her either. Her minutes are just they're really direct correlation to what we're getting from Tierra McCowan. And a little bit, we are seeing Maddie or Billings play the center spot. So that definitely could be a mix of something that we actually see. Going over to the game that I kind of feel like if it stays close, we really could have some fireworks from this game. This could be truly a spot to game stack heavier than the first game. I know maybe get the studs in that first game, and we can get the value and the mid-tier options in this game right here. I really do feel like it. Over on the Minnesota Lynx side, this is going to be a hot take. I'm going to save it after I break it down. Fee, we already know we're getting with Fee. 10.8. I'm kind of surprised that her price dropped down below the 11K mark, but still 55, 35, 42, 48, 45 fantasy points. She's putting up numbers. Shoot, away games on the road, she's dropping 50.9 fantasy points right now, played only 3 away games, but still, either way, the usage and everything is there for her. I do not mind Fee at all, but I kind of have her lean more towards the GPP play. I really do feel like this is a spot where we can attack more with the guards, and this could be a spot where we go back to Elena Smith. Opposing centers going up against in the spot, they've actually done very well against the Sparks, and that's probably due to the fact of getting Brink into foul trouble and just being a young team that they have over here. But Alana Smith, I really do like her. Probably could get at least a couple of blocks and steals in this game, and then if we actually could get one of these big scoring nights from her, get us a good double digit shooting night that she gives us, and knocking down her three. She definitely can pop off at low ownership. 7,900. I just think that's a little bit too low for her. A really big price dump from her from being up here in the 9K and 8K range. This right here, I personally like Alana Smith over Tierra McCowan if I'm looking at the price dump and what players are looking at right now. It's just something about that price, something about this spot is really scratching my brain that it's just too low for what we could get for her going out here. Now, outside of that, I want one of these two guards in Kayla McBride or Courtney Williams. The only thing that has me a little hesitant, and again, it's scratching my brain. Courtney Williams, I like the spot, but her minutes have dropped drastically down, and we're starting to see more run for Zandalis. I believe that's how you say your name. I'm going to just call her Xanda. We're seeing more minutes for Xanda, and she's consistently seeing at least 20-ish minutes out there for the team. We're also gotten to the fold Olivia. She played in the last game, and she actually played pretty well, 14 minutes and dropped 14.75 fantasy points. Now, am I say she's going to go out here and get 4 steals again? No, I highly doubt that. But 4 points, couple of assists, rebound. If you think this game could possibly be towards a lean of a blowout and can get out of hand late and we see more minutes for her, then I definitely could imagine that. But I would lean more towards Xanda over chasing the Olivia game and what she just did last game. That would just be my take right there on that. Outside of that, really no interest in Carlton. She's just she's there. She's going to play the small forward, but of course they're going to pull her minutes. They're going to play Xanda in that spot, things like that. Like I said, Courtney Williams and McBride. One of these two I really do want to have. Kind of lead McBride just because the minutes are more secure. She is going to actually play out there. She's going to get that burn, and we have seen guards that go out there, they can shoot, and she shoots very well. Right now, averaging 31.3 fantasy points on the road for the season, and we saw her 25 points in that last game. Just beautiful. 5 for 9 from 3. She's really found that stroke. She's really knocking it down right now, and I do like the upside that she actually has and she brings. Courtney Williams, as the more I talk about it, she's looking more towards like the GPP option, GPP play that we can go to if you want to get off the McBride or something like that. Is how I would imagine or look to it for the slate. Going over here to Las Vegas, the Sparks side. Hamby, there's nothing that needs to be said about Hamby. Hamby is your firecracker. She's your Energizer Bunny. She's going to go out there. And honestly, again, Hamby's in a great spot. We've seen it time and time again. Posing power forwards, fee, and everything that she can bring. But Hamby, Energizer Bunny, she's going to play all the minutes that she can handle. 34 minutes, the game kind of did get out of hand, and Hamby wasn't needed, but she was a big reason why it got brought back. 23 points, unfortunately didn't get a double-double in that game. She probably could do it here today, but 10-3, too cheap for what she's bringing. I know she's going to at least give me about between 35 to 45 fantasy points, and I do like the upside for her here. Brink, I do think this is a spot that we can actually go back to and possibly have a look at her into your player pool. Drop down to the 8-3 price tag from up there being in the high 8K range. 16.75 fantasy points, 21-14, and 34, 33, 35 fantasy points. But the minutes, she's still playing those minutes. If she could definitely go out there and get us some lots of steals. I know we always have to worry about her getting in foul trouble, which this is a game I can see Fee getting her into some fouls or something like that. But if she can actually score, grab a couple of those boards, give me the rebound. Give me the defensive stats that you've been doing. This could be a really smash spot for Brink, and I do like her as a GPP option. Outside of that, Clarendon, I don't expect her to play. It'd be interesting if she did. If she plays, then I would imagine we don't see Rakia in the starting lineup. But Lexi Brown, that's the one that we have to think about. She left the game due to an ankle injury. I lean that she's not going to play, and if she doesn't play, we have to know that Ari is starting. If Ari's starting, that's your mid-tier play for the day right there. This is your Leah Edwards on today's slate if Lexi is out. Right now, I'm building with the assumption that Lexi is going to be out. Ari is going to be my mid-tier play that's going to get the starter burn, the starter run that I'm looking for today. Now, if she scores, which we've seen it, 31.5 fantasy points, 21 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds, we know she can go out there and give us some buckets. As long as she's actually out there getting some buckets and also doing everything else that she does on the other side of the ball, it'll be a good game for her. I really do have just the upside. I just really feel like the upside is going to be there for her at the 6K price tag. Just a beautiful mid-tier spot. Don't think it's too much. Long as she starts. Long as she starts. Then if Lexi's actually in and they're going to actually run her, she becomes more of a GPP option, mid-tier, not something that you have to jam into your lineups. I can mess with the Rickea Jackson. I didn't have a dream again, so I'm not going to go there for her. But I will say Kia Nurse would be the one I would take if Lexi is in. If we're not going to get the Ari McDonald start, Kia Nurse definitely would be the one I would pivot to if that was to actually come down and happen. Now, outside of that, really my main plays that I'm looking at from this game is going to be Wnba, Brinks, and Ari McDonald. And honestly, I just see a world where I just go ahead and shove in Ari, go ahead, drop Wnba. Coming here to the Las Vegas Aces game, go ahead and play Asia Wilson. Leaves you with 72, 33 for the rest of your line. This would be my core right now that I would be looking at to play. If this will still allow me to go in here and get one of the Minnesota guards that I want to play between Kelly McBride, Courtney Williams. I already talked about it. And then, of course, I'm not going to give up my full line that I'm currently playing with, but you possibly could go ahead and play that Lynn Smith. I do think that you can fade Fee today in this with the fact that I'm getting the upside from Wnba and Wilson here. I really, really strongly do feel that on today's slate. But there goes a pre-core for you guys if you guys look for something like that. As far as possible prop plays or things like that, just you can get out of this game on the Minnesota Lynx side, Kayla McBride, her fantasy points, depending on what they drop that at over there on Prize Picks or Underdog or something like that, if she's hovering around that 30, 32 fantasy points, I'll take the over on that. I really feel like the upside will be there for her in this game specifically. Courtney Williams, the more I just talk about it, the more I look at it, I'm kind of just if I ran two lines, I would have Courtney Williams in one, Kelly McBride in the other, just simply because if she actually was to get the minutes, she really could pop off in this spot. And I'm reading off some of the opposing point guards that have played going up against the Sparks. Cloud, she just dropped 52.75 against them. Dana Eminem Evans dropped 32.75. Caitlin Clark, 55.25. Uzan from Dallas dropped 32.25. Caitlin Clark again dropped 47. Van Loo dropped 31. So the upside is definitely there for Courtney Williams. I want to play her, but it's just the minutes. I am so worried about those minutes. Now, I will say, when she's out there, she's putting up over a fantasy point per minute. So there still might be merit for us to go ahead and playing her. I might have just talked myself back into her. I still am very undecided, but that's definitely something for you to consider and possibly to play right there. But if you guys want my full actual core that I am going to run today, definitely check the link down in the description for the Patreon. It is right there. It is only $5. I promise you will make your money back. We will have prop plays, pool, the core plays, MLB bets, all that stuff will be up. Swept MLB again yesterday. It definitely, if you guys I'm honestly giving you guys some free money right now. We had the Baltimore Orioles for the money line, and then we also had the Brewers plus 1.5, and it went into extra innings, and the Brewers, that plus 1.5 helped hell of a lot because the Phillies, they got that last run that they needed, won the game. But hey, that plus 1.5, cash, made some money. But that's gonna be it for me, guys. Hopefully, you guys got a little something from it. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Good luck to everybody as they're playing. Definitely continue to crush it in WNBA.